So I come running in. I'm like, listen, you, get in. He's like, where? What? I said, it's my mother. She's like, yeah. Okay, can I not just, sit in the living room and say, I'm your friend? I said, friend? I can't have a guy friend. How are we? Whoa, look at you guys. My mother was very popular amongst my friends. She was very popularly known as Hitler. A large part of my childhood went into saving myself from her wrath. For example, in class 1, when I got a big fat 0 in a science test. How? That's a story for another day. But I tore the notebook into tiny, tiny pieces with my tiny, tiny hands and threw them in a big old dumpster next to my house. But as we all know, mothers are sniffer dogs. So she found out. And I got a good sound. In class 3, I forged her signature. To save myself, of course. She found out. And by now, she was convinced that she had birthed a criminal. And I don't blame her. But of course, I did get a good sound. In class 5, I got suboptimal marks again in maths. But this time, I was convinced that she will kill me for real. Forgery and destruction of evidence were out of the table, right? So I came up with the next best option. I decided to run away from home. And I did. I knew I had to do it before my mom got home in the evening. It was now or never. So I got out of the building, out of the compound, through a large football field, and I ran for my life. And I finally reached the main road, and I'm just standing there, realizing I don't even know how to cross the damn road. I swallow my ego, turn around, and start running back. This time, literally for my life, because if I didn't get home before she arrived, she would actually kill me. So I'm running back at double speed, huffing and puffing. I reach the building, and there she is, waiting for the door to be opened. I see her. She sees me. এত রাতে কোথায় গেছিলে? She takes my ears, pulls me in, and throws me into the house. No, she did not kill me, but I did get a good sound. A few years after that, I stayed out of trouble. Until I was in class 12. I was 18 and hormonal. I was in a situation with a boy who would sometimes come home in the afternoons when my mom would be away at work. This particular day, it was a Bandh day. And my mother, as the most hardworking government servant in the history of government service, and actually has a President's Award to show for it, had walked 14 kilometers to her office. Now, normally when the boy would come home, I would call my mother at her desk. And just ask about banal shit like, "Hey, খেয়েছো? হ্যাঁ, আমি খেয়েছি। হ্যাঁ, আমি পড়াশোনা করছি, I'm studying, just to make sure that she's at her desk 14 kilometers away while boy is here at home. Now, boy and I, on this day, are indulging in some extracurricular activities when the doorbell rings. I walk up to the door. I see through the keyhole. It's her. Just like magic. She's standing there, and there is just one plywood door between life and death. But I had a plan. As always, it was all worked out in my head. So we were on the second floor of the building. And I was like, okay, boy can climb down from the balcony, and the neighbors, oh no, wait, the neighbors will see, cancel. So I had to hide him in the smaller bedroom. Under the bed, my mother had made these storage drawers with wheels. So I would pull the drawers out, stuff the boy in, and push the drawers in. Simple. So I come running in. I'm like, listen, you, get in. He's like, where? What? I said, it's my mother. She's like, yeah. Okay, can I not just, sit in the living room and say, I'm your friend? I said, friend? I can't have a guy friend. Okay, listen, this is no time to negotiate, okay? You get in. And he's like, oh, okay. And I've pulled the drawers out. I'm shoving him in. And I'm pushing the drawers in. And I'm pushing them, and I'm pushing them, and I'm pushing them. He's like, okay, enough, I can't breathe. I'm like, okay, don't breathe. He's like, aur mat kar, mar jaunga. By now, he's looking like a fossilized lizard plastered on the wall. And I'm still pushing the drawers, right? And the drawers are still out. And for the last 10 minutes, the door is still going on. And I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I go to the main door. I open the door. Straight face. Always an actor. My mother's like, কি হলো? এতক্ষণ ধরে বেল বাজাচ্ছি? I said, bathroom. Normally when my mother would come home, she would keep the bag and go straight to the loo. So I thought she will go in the bathroom. I will throw boy out. But today, she's in a very chirpy mood. She's walking around the house. I'm hovering behind her, mind you. I'm like, oh, you're home early? And she's like, yeah, so-and-so was coming this way and gave me a lift. How sweet, na? I'm like, yeah, how sweet, how lovely. I'm like, why don't you go in, freshen up? I'll make you some tea. She's like, yeah, good idea. And she's finally walking to the bathroom and crossing the smaller door room. And she's like, why are the drawers out like that? And I'm like, sketch pen. I'm 18 and haven't used a sketch pen in 5 years. She's like, oh, okay. Let me go in and push them in. I'm like, no, I will do it. You go in. But before I've said any further, she's gone in and started to push the damn drawer in. And she's like, why is this not going in? And she looks under the bed. She can't really see. And she peers in. Chor! 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 Police! Security ke dark chor! By now, poor thing has started crawling out, and my mother has got hold of his collar, almost hitting him. She's like, chor! 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 And I'm almost tempted to go with this chor narrative because I'm like, oh, main bichari bachchi ghar pe, or how? Chor in the house? But I'm like, no, have some heart, he's also a friend. I'm like, ma, calm down. And accidentally, my hand goes and touches his chest. And split second, mind you, my mother sees my hand and looks at me. She's like, no. She darts to the phone to call security. Right on cue, the doorbell rings. I go answer the door, expecting the entire neighborhood or the entire police force. But by stroke of luck, it's my father. My father, mind you, was less of a father, more of a friend. And he was aware of this boy situation. He sees my face, sees my mother go in hysterics, sees the boy, looks at me like, are you dumb? Or are you dumb? Goes straight to the boy. You out now. The boy runs for his life. My mother is still relentless. She's like, oh, I can't believe I birthed you. You give me his mother's number. Let me tell her what her son is up to. I don't have a choice but give the number. So I give the number, my mother from this side. Oh, your son. Do you know I caught your son in my house? His mother from the other side. Do you want me to tell you what your daughter does in my house? My mother's like, no. I did not get a good sound that day, but the one good thing that came out of that fiasco was that boy chapter was over and done with. My mother didn't speak to me for a month. Until one afternoon, she was deep cleaning the house, and she found his shoes under the bed. She showed them to me, and we both laughed. In class 2, my mother would come to the creche every evening to pick me up. One evening, I was going to leave, but another kid had worn my school shoes and gone home. You know, those small, tiny, black ones? My mother saw it and gave me her shoes to wear. As I stumbled and bumbled in her shoes, I kept looking down at her bare feet, walking from the creche to the bus stop, getting on the crowded bus and, her feet getting stamped by others while my feet were safe in hers. And as years passed, as I grew into those shoes, I realized that everything I am today is because of her. And everything that she did was to protect me, even if it was in the form of a good sound. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.